Hello pilots and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil and this is part 3, the finale of the epic play between Quinn and Amy. So we are in the last stages now, so can Amy get rid of some of those dreaded crocs or will Quinn just keep running her over, basically?
I mean, there's, as I've said, crocs are cheap. If you can get free hits from running people over, why would you not? Like, look what I did to the brown one. Look what I've done to her Raider.
Yeah.
Running over people is fun.
You've
in X-Wing, not in real life, obviously.
I'm glad you clarified that there, because that could have caused a bit of a stir in a simulated virtual gameplay environment. Yes, real life, no, we do not condone the running over of people.
Definitely not.
But in this situation, yeah, ramming ships is fun.
Yes.
One thing I will note is that I can see that you guys are struggling a little bit to get rid of that rear arc on the green croc in the middle.
I unlocked the croc while it was on, which then caused TTS to glitch out and separate the entities. So the arc is being treated as its own thing, which cannot be interacted with. So it's think of it as like we've casted your logo onto the board in like a very vague fashion.
If only it was in the right colours, that'd be amazing. But yeah, I mean, it gives an unnecessary advantage of knowing definitely what's in range.
Yes, like I didn't want to keep it there, and I've tried multiple times to delete it. I think Amy works out how to do it in a minute, but yes, you're right. At the moment, it's like, hey, look at all this free measurement.
Yeah, I mean, it does get deleted eventually down the line, so that's not a problem. But yeah, so we're seeing, again, a lot more attacks coming in. That Gozanti... Did that Gozanti do a stop move earlier? Because it didn't hit you. So I'm assuming it obviously didn't try and ram you.
Yeah, I can understand why you wouldn't want to ram, because, as we've seen, look what's happened to my red one. That's basically all of my doing from ramming stuff. And it's going to get a lot of damage in from standard attacks, so I can understand it not ramming. But at the same time, ramming would quite hurt my brown, because my brown is quite damaged, so I would have probably, in Amy's shoes, I would have definitely rammed, because that's what I do.
But yeah, I mean, you're just insane though when it comes to ramming, so...
I mean, this entire list is insane. Like, it's 6 epic ships. It was kind of, like, it's rigged from the start, really, isn't it? Like, look, like, what, 2 of my ships are damaged and the rest are basically untouched? Like, I mean,
the rest haven't really gone anywhere. You've just kept them slow, just plinking off shields left, right and centre, so...
The joys of having range 3 and above attacks. You don't have to get close. You can just shoot.
Yeah, like I said, I think if you were to bring this to the table, I'd be like, Quinn, come on, try something else. I think
I've had this list for ages now. I was glad to finally get a chance to use it because you've been too, as you say, unwilling to fly against it.
It's because I knew you had the list and I didn't want to fly against it because I really... The only way I can think you can go up against it is if you had something with Dreadnought Hunter on it. I think you can... I'm not sure... I think that might be a limited 2?
Dual limited, yes. Because I think 2 in a pack. But
limited... so it's got 2 unique dots on there. So I think that you definitely need that with something quite scary. I don't know, a defender, Vader defender.
That would certainly be unpleasant. But again, that's still only 3 dice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think how you could actually counter this. Say this was a tournament setting and someone brought 6 or 7 Sea Rocks. How could you actually counter that? Because if they stayed at range and just kept regenning those shields. Like, it feels like they should limit the amount of huge ships allowed in a list because I'm flying this and I feel like I'm cheating. Like, look at it.
So I think what I would try and do is I would try and cause you to get into a traffic jam.
So I keep ramming myself. That would be quite good.
So the only option you would have would be to bump yourself, and then flank around you. You've only got that forward arc, so you've got to try and take advantage of that. And if you can, use your more maneuverable standard ships to get around the side and the back of your ships, kind of like you would any game.
But they've all got turrets.
True.
Like the point defense batteries are a double arc turret, so you can't really outmaneuver that.
Yeah.
And the rest have all got turrets.
Yeah, I suppose that makes it tricky, but I think avoiding being rammed, and if you can get yourself into a situation where it's not easy for you to move around, that would be the best one.
I wonder if you stayed close to the edge of the board, so that if I wanted to get in close, I had to risk going off the edge. Because the easiest way to kill something with that much hull is just drive it off the edge.
Yeah.
No matter how much hull you got then, you go off the edge even by a small amount. Because something you've got to remember with the huge ships is the way they pivot is the back doesn't follow the front. The back kicks out by itself.
Yeah.
So the back can stray off the board and the front could be miles away. So unlike in a standard ship where you can see where that template is going, you've got to remember to look where the front and the back is going on a huge ship.
Yeah, the huge ships definitely perform a bit more of a handbrake turn when they're going around. They definitely drift out a little bit. So I think for me, if I was to try and go up against this list, I would flip the table. Or I think I would try and get in a position where I can force you to come across yourself. I mean, you look at where pink and blue are, they would not have a good time in trying to maneuver around, like across. The only way that they're going to successfully maneuver without hitting each other is if they broke in different directions.
Even then, they've got to move one after the other, and the way the back kicks out is no matter which one of them moved, if they had to turn a corner, they would hit each other.
So that's what I think I would be doing. Something with trajectory simulator on it would be hilarious as well. Stick that right in front of you. You're not really going to be able to get away from that.
No, trajectory simulator is always a good bit of a laugh.
Yeah. So I think that those are the kinds of things I would be looking at doing there. I mean, personally, I'd probably only take one epic or huge base ship as well. Because, I mean, you think if you had just the Raider, that's 300 points you've got to play with. That's a lot of pain you could be bringing to the board, a lot more guns.
Yes. Or even if you kept it the same, you could have much more potent small standard ships. Like you have a large number of defenders rather than diluting all your points. You could have one big nasty thing and like 5 small nasty things. Like you could make it very unpleasant, because if I'm focusing on your Raider and you've got 3 defenders flanking me, like I'm not going to have a great time.
Yeah, I mean at the moment it's not looking great for that Raider. I think I don't know. Was that the Raider you were shooting at there? Yeah, that's the Raider you're shooting at there. It doesn't look good for him at the moment. He's very, very much about to go down.
Well, I've sacrificed that into 112 points into trying to take out that Raider. So, I mean, it's a good investment, sacrificing 112 to get 192.
Yeah.
That's still a fifth of my list being sacrificed to kill one ship.
I mean, I think I would have got that Raider turned and moved a lot quicker to get out of there.
I think because I've rammed so much, she's wary of ramming, because all she needs to do is ram, damage herself. I'm not going to die if she rams me because I've got a Stalwart captain and she hasn't.
Yeah.
So if she rams and dies, she doesn't get to shoot. So I think she's trying to play it safe, which obviously has just not worked out wonderfully, because now she's in a nice double croc size kill box.
With 5 ion tokens by the look of it.
I wonder where she's going to be going next turn.
Yeah, not particularly fast either.
Yeah, so they're from crits, because obviously I haven't got an ionizing weapon on that particular Sea Rock. So a lot of the crits give you 2 ion tokens. So You may need 5 to be ionized, but they can stack up very quickly.
Yeah. And it's a case of you have to do that one forward. Well, no, you can't really get rid of them, can you?
No, you've got the ion tokens. There's no way to get rid of them beyond doing that one forward when you're fully ionized.
Yeah.
But then there are, they are. To start with, you're like, oh, I've got 2 ion tokens. I need 3 more. I don't have to worry about it. And then all of a sudden, you're ionized. And you're like, oh, oops.
Yeah, it's not great.
It is if you're me, because
yeah, it is if you're you. And it looks like we're about to lose pink there.
I mean, it was on one hull and surrounded by crocs. It was kind of a given.
I mean, despite how much you've rammed that raider and it looking like it was going to be the first one to go, pink's the first one to drop.
Yes, the raider is being annoyingly stubborn at the moment, which is a shame because I would quite like to destroy it. It'd be hilarious if I could kill it and keep my red croc alive, but I think that might be wishful thinking.
Yeah, because unless you can get rid of that raider now, I think your croc is going to bite the dust.
I mean, I'm on 2, it's on 3, so I mean...
And it will gain the 2 shields back as well if you haven't taken it out. So you'd have to do a 5 to make it go boom boom.
Yes, but I mean, as we've seen, I'm perfectly willing to do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's impressive is we're an hour and 40 in, and that's the first ship to go down.
There's just so much health on the board, like it's just madness.
Yeah. I mean, you think when you're putting down a 2-hour limit for a game, that you're like, oh, 2 hours, that's a long time, because we normally play for an hour and 15. But when you've got this much, I mean, this is, turn 4, possibly turn 5?
Yeah,
I think this is the shooting of turn 4. So it just goes to show how long it takes to actually play.
I mean, the lists aren't even that big because you can have up to 12 ships in an epic list, and we've both gone for not 12, so we could have made this even longer.
Yeah.
It's epic is so broken sometimes.
Yeah, but again, as we said the whole way through, it's really cool seeing some huge ships like this. I mean, there's other miniatures games that have massive models on them, and again, they're starting to get more common seeing those big models on the board. And X-Wing, unless you're really seeing what you think the Ghost, the Decimator, possibly the Falcon, they're some of the bigger ships you see. I mean, you even look at some of the other large base ships, and they're not actually that big. Like the Lambda isn't that big.
No.
When you think about it, and the Jumpmaster also isn't that big.
I think the 2 biggest have got to be the Upsilon with its big sticky out wings, and obviously the Ghost with its just general ridiculous size.
Yeah, I think the Upsilon, just because of how big its wings are, mass-wise, it's not that big, but like the wingspan of it is huge,
and it also looks amazing.
Oh yeah, it does. It's a cool looking ship. I was always a bit disappointed that the not only did the wings flap, which is cool, but I was a little bit disappointed that they also didn't elongate. I
was gonna say I was thinking about it the other day. They elongate in the movie, don't they?
Yeah.
Because I've seen a print of one where the wings do that, which, much like the wings moving at all, makes no sense in flight because you can't land it in X-Wing, but at the same time, pretty fun to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they made it so that the wings could move, because it would be rather impractical if they were always down for storage, but it would also look a bit rubbish on the board if they were always just straight up.
Yes. Kind of sad that the G's aren't hinged, the G shuttle.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if they're meant to be hinged in the thing, but just to keep the theme going, because they look like they should be hinged.
I'm not sure, actually. Because you only ever see it either fully intact or very, very broken.
Yes. Much like how you see them in the games, to be honest, because they pop a surprising amount, because they're not that meaty.
Yeah, I've not seen that many G's actually on the table. Wes is the person I've seen with the most G's. Oh, and we lost the Gozanti there whilst we were chatting.
Hooray! I do believe my points have just gone up by a fair amount.
Yes, and we haven't quite lost the second heavy yet. I think we're about to lose the second heavy though.
Let's hope so. I mean, look at my brown and my red. Like, they should both be dead by now. They are hanging on effectively by a thread compared to what they started with. But
yeah, I mean,
those tigers are thankfully facing the wrong way, because I think that wing, if it had been facing backwards, could have made my what's its face's life a bit more interesting.
Yeah, if they'd have come out on a K-turn instead, that would have been quite fun.
I mean, even if they'd gone where they were originally going, in the path of my croc, I didn't quite make it, so they would have been safe. But I don't think it would have been worth that risk, because if they hadn't been safe, that would have been one wing taken out in one movement, which would have been hilarious for me, but awful for Amy.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we had an hour and 40 with no ships finally biting the dust, and then in 4 minutes, we've just lost 2 ships.
I get the feeling we're gonna lose my red croc next, judging from that nice range 1 we got going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be very surprised if Amy didn't take that range 1. Although she's hovering over green there.
I've got 2 dice, so it can't be red.
So she's definitely she's going for green. She does not want to trigger Dead Man Switch there.
I'm wondering if she's not wasting the shot because she knows I'm going to die next turn because she knows I'm going to ram her.
Yeah, the problem is that she's also going to die when that happens.
I do believe I'm stressed though, so I cannot do any of those maneuvers that'd be fast enough to kill her.
Oh, yeah, true.
I can only do a 1 or 2, so I can only kill myself, which I won't die because I've got Stalwart.
Yeah.
Or try and hang on with 1 hull. So I think she's trying to get some more points because red is basically a lost cause at this stage.
That is a possibility there. I mean, it hasn't worked out that well against.
No. Diluting your fire is, like, as you say, it's better to have killed that and me not be able to shoot her next turn than to try and get points on a different ship.
Yeah. And especially, she had the target lock, but she re-rolled there. But yeah, she hasn't added any more points there. So, I mean, I know red is basically going to die. It's a foregone conclusion, but I think I would have preferred to have taken red out at that point, knowing that your stalwart commander or stalwart captain?
One of the 2, I think it's captain.
Yeah. Wouldn't then take effect, so that you can then get rid of it and just accept that you're going to take that damage with potentially take that damage with Dead Man Switch.
Yes, because it is only 1 damage, and she's on 3 hull and got 2 shield, so it would come back. But yeah, got that range 1 out, like I'm doing Dead Man Switch. I don't know quite what's.
Yeah. Oh. I think.
Oh wait, she did. She must have shot it. I think we missed that, but it's
yeah, there was definitely some shots going there. You don't think she was using a point defense battery at all at that point?
As she got point defense battery on it, that would make more sense. You use that 4 dice attack against something else, and then just use those little attacks to kill the Sea Rock.
No, not point defense. Ion cannon battery. So I don't know. Maybe she did shoot directly at it.
Either way, it's dead, and she's not. She's hanging on with 2 hull, but again, she's in that nice. She's got to do a 1 forward, and she's a little bit surrounded by crocs, so I don't think it's going to go particularly well for her.
No, but I mean, this does look a little bit. Well, I say it's a relative term. It looks a little bit less scary for Amy now. Unfortunately, not quite sure she's got the firepower in just under 13 minutes to really cause too many issues. Maybe take out Brown if things go well.
Well, Brown is the only one that she has sufficient number of dice to take out, because all the other ones are basically untouched. In fact, I think they are all actually untouched. except for maybe green, but that would be a shield.
Green and yellow have taken the damage, but again, they'll regen a shield. So,
yeah, brown is. I don't think there's anywhere brown can go that yellow won't run it over. For her tie brute, which is brown, the one that's left. I don't think there's anywhere it can go that won't be run over by yellow.
Could do a hard maneuver to the right. Oh, that might even clip. Oh, I really don't know. I mean, to be honest, it's gone. I don't hold out much hope for it.
I mean, it's on one hull. Like, even if it doesn't die from being run over, I've just got to look at it funny with my guns and it will die.
I've had another thought of what you could do against this list.
Go on then.
Fill as many Z95s as you can in there with feedback around Dead Man Switch or one or the other. And then just get right up close to you, shoot loads of shots, wait for you to shoot me back, and then just blow up. Even then,
that's still small amounts of damage compared to... Like, I can see the tactic, because one of the early games in this channel is me being absolutely decimated by 4 suicidal Z95s.
Oh, that was... Yeah, Connor did a great job. I'm not going to spend that focus so that I die.
Yes, and then me also not spending that focus so that I don't die.
Yeah. Oh, that was crazy. But no, I mean, you think if you've got 6 Z95s in a wing, all with Dead Man Switch... Oh, no, because then they'd affect each other.
Yes, but you get the chain reaction. That's still only 6 damage for 6 ships.
You'd want to... Well, no, saying that, because they would shoot first. So if you think 6 Z95s at range 1...
Yeah.
That's 18 dice.
Yeah, that's pretty favourable. Give them all cluster missiles. Oh, no, cluster missiles must be two different targets. Give them all concussion missiles.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 2 to 3. Oh, that wouldn't work either.
But I mean, you think range 1, 18 dice. Hopefully, it might take you out. If it doesn't, and you do take 1 out, you're obviously going to have to focus fire on 1. So yeah, you might get the feedback. Dead Man Switch hurts some of the other Z95s, but hopefully by that point, the Dead Man Switch is enough to take you out. So that's what you do. You take 6 squads of 6 Z95s against 6 Crocs.
If you're wanting to play that game, I'll certainly give it a go against you.
Wow, I don't even think you can fit that in 500 points. But
I mean, you're only allowed 12 ships, so you'd only be...
Yeah, true. So. 2 wings of Z95s, all with Dead Man Switch. And then stick, Bobber in there or something.
Bobber's always a laugh. Do love Bobber.
Bobber and Emma Azamine. So, Emma Azamine with the Boba Fett crew dropping a bomb or mine right in front of you.
I've got a list where electron proton bomb is on that. So you stick him on a rock, you electron proton bomb. So that's both route denial and also 3 shields being removed in the second turn. And then you stick my favourite bomb, concussion bombs, on there, and you kill some stuff without taking its shields away, which is always a laugh. I do love concussion bombs.
Yeah.
They're so unfair. And you can even use them on yourself to be useful.
Yep.
I believe that has that match come out yet, or is that spoilers?
That match hasn't been done yet, but it's all right. Hopefully by that point people might have forgotten about that.
Yes.
Oh, the mines are going off. And
look, I ran over my own mines.
Green is taking them all out by himself.
I mean, they serve their purpose of making it difficult for the tie brutes to go anywhere. But, I mean, what's that? That's a maximum of 6 crits. I don't think that can take out Green. They can give her half points on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's worth it, so I can just kill that annoyingly 4 health point Raider.
Yeah. So it's that's definitely interesting. It'd be interesting. Well, Amy's got to do the 1 forward, so there's going to be at least 1 crit each for you both anyway.
I think that will fit because movements on them are very slow.
Yeah.
Like, a 1 on them is much smaller than a standard 1, so I think it will fit. There's 6 dice and what's that? One hit? 1
hit. There's 1 off the board that we can't see.
But I do believe it's just the 1 hit from 6 dice.
I mean,
that sounds like how I normally roll when I'm going against someone else.
Yeah, only you could run over your own mines and not kill yourself.
What can I say? My list works in mysterious ways.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing though, with the Raider doing that one forward, it's a shame that it's more than likely going to die before it gets a chance to shoot, because we would have been able to see the range 1 bullseye 6 dice shot.
It would be nice for it to finally get to use it. Isn't that only on munitions shots? I don't know. I don't believe that's on primary shots. I believe that's only.
While you perform a primary torpedo or missile attack, if the defender is in your bullseye, roll 1 additional die.
Well, that's just not fair.
I think
it deserves to die.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones on the card where you see the icons and assume that's it.
Yes, but no, it's like, but wait, there's more.
Yeah, I mean, again, that really just adds to the flavour
Especially
of the Raider.
If you add munitions tubes on there as its hard point, that means you can do all 3 of those attacks in one go. I've just killed that brute. I've run it over. It thought it got away, but it most certainly did not.
Yeah, bye brute. And also another interesting thing with that, Amy's got advanced proton torpedoes on there, so that could have been a 6 dice advanced proton torpedo shot.
What a shame she can't target lock because she's ionized.
Yeah. So that is a bit of a shame there. Just like a normal ionization move, you can only do a focus after.
Yes. So it's like double painful on huge ship, because not only does it limit your movements, limit your actions, it also just straight up removes your second action.
Yeah, so you don't have access to that reinforce that you might have wanted.
Yes, I think she will need it, because if she was reinforced, she'd probably survive, because she's got 4 hit points and I can roll 4 dice.
Yeah.
So
it would be it would be very potential that she could survive that. I mean, looking at it, depending on the order you shoot in. So I mean, I'd assume you'd shoot with green first, then probably blue.
Well, it doesn't really matter, because blue and pink don't really have anyone else they can shoot.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking that depending on the positioning, green and blue might actually obstruct pink and yellow, giving the Raider defense dice.
Yes, because they act as obstructions. I'd forgotten that was the thing.
Which would be quite funny. So you'd have to decide in which order you did shoot, quite not critically, but you'd have to think about it a little bit more there.
Yes. Just looking at the points, I think we know which way this match has gone in the last 4 minutes.
Solid victory to Amy.
Absolutely. The Imperials will rise from the ashes.
I mean, to be honest, Amy's done really well against a very cheesy list. I'm not going to lie, but it's a very cheesy. It's one of those.
I felt like I was cheating the entire time I was playing, because how is this fair? It's hilarious for me. It's not fair.
It's like an early 7 Jakku Gunrunner or 4 TIE Phantoms list. It's just one of those ones that if there was regular epic play, they would do something to stop it.
Yes, like they'd bring in a rule like you're only allowed maybe 3 huge ships in a list. I think that seems like a fair amount.
Yeah, I think if they did that, it could be an interesting one where they do it by, you do it by points. So if you've got 400 points, you could have 2. If you've got 500 points, you could have 3. If you are crazy and you're doing more than a 500-point game because you have nothing else to do and too much money. You have a
week of spare time to fill.
We will do 1 turn a day.
Be mad. I can't imagine. Like, team games must take forever as well, because not only have you got the extra points, but you've also got to have multiple people doing things. Like, that just adds. The more hands, the longer it takes. Like, it's just madness.
Well, I don't know. With a team game, I think it would be a lot quicker, because you'd obviously have your pieces that you're in control of. So if you think right now, if you had 2 people there, so like you had 3 crocs and your teammate had 3 crocs, you'd probably find that you'd be a lot quicker, because although you have to be concerned with what the other 3 are doing, it's only 3 dials you have to put down. It's like when you're flying in a wing. Instead of having to put instead of having to put 3, 4, 5, 6 dials down, you only have to put 1 dial down. So it does make life a lot easier and a lot quicker. Oh, and the TIE fighters are actually getting into the action.
I'm not sure they're going to do much against Brown, but I appreciate the sentiment.
There's 1 damage.
Hooray! Well done.
Oh, yellow doesn't have a shot. Green, blue does.
Just about.
Nope.
Not with dice like that, though.
And red. What can Night Beast do? Oh, that's actually
not a lot.
Slightly disappointing. I was hoping that they were going to come in and just sweep away.
I would have thought it would be hilarious if that tiny TIE wing could take out the last Sea Rock. Like, that would be a justifiable end, but sadly that's not the case.
Well, we're about to see the death of the Raider, I feel.
I mean, it's got to die, right? I've got 3, maybe 4 shots on it. Like,
yeah, all depends if yellow actually has range.
Yellow has got Turbolaser. I don't think I got it locked, so I don't think I could use it. Oh, that's 3 hits though, so that's not enough to kill it. That's enough to nearly kill it.
Oh, but you have a target lock.
Oh, do I? Oh, nice. Come on.
And that is the Raider out of the game.
Bye, Raider.
Yeah.
It was nice knowing you. I'm sorry that I just drove into you repeatedly.
I mean, that's one way of taking out a Raider, I suppose.
When I've played like epic games against something like one Croc versus like the Tantive, or even worse, the Tantive and 2 GR75s, which is a horrible list that I would recommend nobody ever flies. The only way I can see of taking them out is ramming with the Sea Rock, because it's the only way to do consistent and heavy damage with the Sea Rock, because it's not a heavy hitter and it's not a superb support ship either. Like, it tries to be both and fails at both.
Well, as you've quite rightly shown us there, it definitely makes a good ramming ship, and multiple rams are going to cause a lot of damage. So, well done there, Quinn.
Thank you. It was a good game.
Yes, and I almost hope that I never see 6 Sea Rocks on the board again. I do want to say that Amy did the best that she could against that. I think she did commendably. It was just a very awkward position that you put her in there.
It was basically rigged. Like, I don't feel like I had a great victory from it. I just enjoyed it because it was funny. But yes, it was kind of unfair. Like, from revealing that I had 6 Crocs. Like, but no, she did very well. Like,
yeah, I'd be
unpleasant as it should be.
Yeah, I'd be very impressed to see what you did with a more normal style list, to see how it goes. Maybe one day we can get that game in, potentially in real life or over TTS, with the lockdowns relaxing soon.
I mean, I think there'll be lots of epic when the squid comes out, because everyone that's bought it will be like, I want to play with the squid.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Nice trident.
I reckon that there'll be some really cool themed Republic Separatist games coming along when that comes out. And in fact, if there's not, I'm going to try and organise some. So, but like I said, Quinn, thank you very much for taking the time to actually play this game. And again, thank you to Amy. I know she's not obviously here commentating with us, but thank you for playing. And also, thank you for coming along and commentating with that and providing some of your insights into why you shouldn't ever use 6 Crocs ever again.
Because it's not fair, basically.
Indeed. But, guys, for those of you that watch, thank you very much for watching. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully we'll be able to get you some more epic games soon. But Quinn, before we sign off, thank you very much for coming along and joining us for this video.
Pleasure to be here as always.
Excellent. Right, well, guys, we will see you next time.